Susan. Today I'm going to make a pie, and I'm going to show you the crust that I make. Sometimes I just use a store-bought crust, and you can do that if you want. But today I don't have any store-bought crust. I'm going to make my own, and I'm using an adaptation of the Pioneer Woman's, and the only difference I'm making is she calls for 1.5 cups of shortening, and I'm using a cup of shortening and 1/2 cup of butter to give it that buttery flavor. But the name of the pie is called Honey Hush Pie, and it's got coconut, chocolate chips, and nuts, and it sounds delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. For our recipe, we've got 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, I've got 1 cup of shortening and 1/2 cup of butter, 1 egg, I'll use 5 tablespoons of cold water, and 1 tablespoon of white distilled vinegar. You want to add your salt to your flour and give it a good mix. I just use my pastry blender since I'm going to be using it anyway. Now you want to cut in your shortening and your butter until it's just really worked in well and just really tiny pieces. It takes a minute or 2 to do this. Beat your egg and add it in. Add in your 5 tablespoons of cold water and your tablespoon of white distilled vinegar. Now you want to give it a good mix, and I always find that using a fork is the best way for me to do this. It just kind of helps mash everything together and kind of bring your dough together. Then you want to divide it between 2 pieces of cling wrap. This makes 2 pie crusts. I'm only going to use 1 today, but this crust can be frozen or put in the refrigerator, but it can also be flattened out, put it in a Ziploc bag, and freeze it. Now I did put my pie crust in the refrigerator and let it rest for about 30 minutes, and now I'm just going to roll it out. Now I'm terrible at making my pie crust look pretty. It always looks rustic. I've tried my best to get the fancy edges and stuff, but I'm just not really good at it. But it tastes wonderful, and to me that's what the most important thing is. Now I just want to get that pie crust in that plate and just try to fix it the best way I can. I will take off little pieces and put it where it needs to be and just try to make it look as best as I can, which isn't great, I have to be honest, but like I said, it tastes wonderful. For my pie filling, I need 3/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 of a stick of butter, which is 6 tablespoons, 3 large eggs beaten, 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. I'm using milk chocolate, but you can use whatever you like, 1/2 cup of shredded coconut, 1/2 cup of nuts. I'm using pecans, and a tablespoon of vinegar. Now to your sugar, you want to add your butter and your eggs and your vinegar and mix it up really well. I did let my butter cool a little bit before doing this because you don't want to scramble your eggs. Now you want to pour your filling into your pie shell. Now the pie shell has not been baked. And then you want to sprinkle it with your chocolate chips, your coconut, and your pecans, and you will put it in a preheated oven set at 350 degrees , ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', ', And here it is. It looks delicious. Now my pie plate is a deep dish pie plate, and you would normally cook this in the regular pie crust rather than a deep dish. That's why it's so tall on the outside, but it's so good. But here it is. It looks good. I hope it is good. But it is good. This is really good. It's just got that toasted pecans on top and that sweetness. And I used unsweetened coconut because the way the sugar and everything is so much on my regular coconut pie, it's always best when I use the unsweetened coconut because it's such a sweet pie. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you hadn't. Ring that bell so you can be notified when I upload new content. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And until next time, bye y'all.